Hey friends, I cannot believe I'm saying this, but welcome to my 36-week update. Pregnancy these days is just kind of how pregnancy is for every woman at the end. It's pretty uncomfortable and achy and there's a lot of pressure and I just generally don't feel super great all the time. But you know what, that's okay and I'm almost done. I have anywhere from 1 more week to 6 more weeks, so I'm really almost done. My body is definitely starting to prepare for labor. There are some things I've noticed that are just signs that it's getting there, and that includes increased discharge. TMI, I know, but it's all part of it. I've had a little bit more discharge than normal, and my boobs are a little bit more sensitive the past couple of days, and baby is definitely dropping a little bit lower. His position changes all the time still, but I can tell that he's kind of, there's a lot more pressure. And just the other night, I was like, holy moly, that does not feel good. There was a lot of pressure and he was laying really, really low. So I've been having contractions consistently and regularly for pretty much since 26 weeks. I was hospitalized for them at 29 weeks and put on medication to control them and try to keep them at bay as much as possible. And since then they've consistently been at least 1 every 10 minutes. And the past couple of weeks it's increased to probably 1 every 5 to 8 minutes apart. And just this week I feel like my body is starting to change again. The contractions are not nearly as predictable as they have been. So they're not regular, they're totally irregular, and they don't happen as often as I expect in like certain situations. So usually standing up or picking up a baby or anything like that would trigger a contraction. And lately it doesn't always do that. And sometimes I don't have a contraction for what feels like a good hour, and then sometimes I have, you know, 1 every other minute. So they're very unpredictable, which has been interesting. I feel like it's my body taking a break and preparing to have baby bringing contractions, so that'll be interesting to see what happens with that. My nesting for the past couple of weeks was out of this world crazy. Like, I was so stressed that things were not prepared and ready. And for the most part, I've got the basics that like the essential items I'll need for him to come. But I'm kind of at the point I don't really care anymore. I would like to have it all done, but it's no longer like this fire under my butt that's pushing me to go. I'm just kind of like, I'd like it to be done, but I don't really want to be the one to do it. I'm so tired and just, there's not a whole lot of energy or motivation left. For example, my nursery, you can only see a part of it, but it's a mess. It is destroyed right now, and I don't care that much. I mean, I'd like it to look a little nicer, but at the same time, I'm not too concerned with it. I believe I found a placenta encapsulator, and I don't think I've talked about this yet, but I do plan on keeping my placenta and taking a few big chunks off for smoothies right after labor and delivery for probably 2 or 3 days. And also I'm planning on encapsulating the placenta. And I've heard various things. Some people claim that it helps them with things like postpartum depression and milk supply. Some people claim the opposite. So I'm just going to play it by ear. I'm going to take it. If I feel like it's not helping me, I'm going to stop. And we'll just see how it works for me. No big deal. I also may have found a birth photographer. I was not expecting to have one. I loved the idea of having one, but it wasn't really something I was willing to spend the money on. And I may have found one, so that is super exciting. So I have an appointment with my midwife in just a couple of days, And at that appointment, we'll be doing the GBS swab, and they'll be doing a CBC panel, so just drawing my blood to check everything. And in the state of Texas, they're supposed to check for HIV at the beginning and the end of pregnancy and all of that, and so that's what we're going to be doing. And I go to the chiropractor tomorrow, and I have this big old knot that she says it's one of those knots that they work on and it brings on labor. And so she hasn't touched it yet, but she said that she's going to tomorrow, and I think I'm going to ask her to hold off until 37 weeks at least, just because I'm at risk for premature labor. But that's exciting. We're getting closer to that. Really though, not too much to update on. There's not a whole lot going on. I'm uncomfortable, and the baby's coming soon. That's about it. The craziest thing and the most exciting thing is there's one more week until we're on real baby watch. And I say real because we've kind of been on baby watch for a few weeks now with the unknowns of how my body's gonna go. But in 1 week, I officially will be considered term. I think it's early term technically, but it's still term, and I'll be able to birth with the midwives, and that is a huge relief, and I'm really excited to reach that point. Also, at 37 weeks, I go off of my medication. And I have enough pills in this one prescription bottle to last me like 2 days after hitting 37 weeks. So I think I'm going to continue taking them for those last 2 days, just finish off the bottle of pills, and then we'll see where it goes from there. And I think my biggest fear is the contractions will continue without doing anything, and they'll pick up like they did in the hospital without doing anything to like change my cervix, and I'll just end up getting exhausted. But we'll have to wait and see. It could be one very short week until he is here. It could be 6 very long weeks. So we'll have to see. I would love to hear your guesses as to when he's gonna come, what his birth date's gonna be, what he's gonna weigh, how long he's gonna be, all of that. If you guys want to, I think it would be fun for you to leave your guesses in the comments below, and subscribe to watch for more videos and to see when he comes. We probably won't update immediately, and I don't think we're gonna do a birth video. I would love to, but I don't think that's gonna be top on our priority list at the moment. And so I will do my best to update when he comes, and just give y'all an insider view into what our newborn son is going to look like. I will see y'all next week.